There's two ways to buy chrome tan leather. You can buy regular line merchandise, or you can buy odd lot merchandise. What's the difference?
Regular line versus odd line?
Sure.
Well, for one thing, if it's a regular line, that means that we can continuously reorder it.
We can get it again and again and again, and John, customer, can rebuy that leather. In case he didn't get enough, he can rebuy the same leather again. That's pretty helpful. Of course, there could be a change in the dye lot.
True.
And that can be fairly significant. So you just want to keep that in mind when you're ordering leather.
Then when you go to odd lot, you may buy one piece of leather in 1,000, or one color in 1,000, or you might get 10 sides in 1,000.
Well, you know, where do odd lots come from anyway? Don't most of them come from manufacturers or leather vendors that for some reason they have 500 feet of this left and 1,000 feet of that left, or 10,000 feet or 200 feet? They've got these little lots of leather that they want to sell. Well, are those leathers worse quality than the regular stuff?
No, think about it. A shoe manufacturer, when they do a run of shoes, they might have 5,000 different variations of the exact same shoe in the exact same color. So they might order 60,000 feet of leather. The one thing they don't want to do is run out of leather. So they're going to overbuy always if they can't buy just right. So you're going to have the exact same leather that they made 5,000 different variants of shoes. There's going to be 1,000 feet of it left over. There's going to be 2,000 feet of it left over.
So that would explain why when we buy this particular upholstery from our standard source, we get it the same every time, it's the same color. We have to pay a stupid amount of money for this.
Right.
We can be paying $5 a foot for this leather. But when we buy an odd lot and we happen to get 500 feet for $1, it's the same leather. So if an inmate can use odd lot leather, man, that can really save them some money.
Well, it can save them a ton of money, and it's going to put them in contact with leather that they normally wouldn't be able to afford, or may not ever come across again, because you're talking either overruns or samples that were ran. So the tannery will run a bunch of samples for a customer or for their manufacturer. They'll get them in, they pick the one they like, and all the other parts are never manufactured again. So it puts them into some places where they get a hold of some leathers that they would never have. And if you get into the bundles, when that stuff goes into a bundle, it adds a variety of stuff to it that you would never imagine.
Well, you know, you raise a good point when you mention about that leather going into the bundles. Springfield Leather sells what we call leather bundles. And we've got, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 different bundles designed for different purposes. And some of those bundles are simply incredible bargains because they've got $5 a foot leather in them that they're able to access for $1 or $1.50 or $1.70. That's pretty amazing.
Well, you know, the thing is too, is with the manufacturers and the tanneries with their overruns, in order to get the space to put the new batch of leather for this year's new shoes, that's got to go. And so they're willing to put it together and get it gone. They've already made their money off of the leather.
I see, and the more we're willing to buy, the less expensive it can be.
And the more access we have to leathers that they've got.
So buying, say, 250,000 feet of leather has its good points and its bad points, because you're going to get a price that's really good, but you're also going to get some leather that is not so good.
You're going to get every single thing they've got laying on the floor included.
Included the
whatever. I've gone through a Gaylord of scrap and found a pair of pants. It's a true story.
Yeah, I think about that. We find utility knives, T-shirts,
you
and
bet.
Sponges.
Pair of uniform pants, you know.
All in leather. That's not happy.
But it allows us to deal with it to make it happy for them. Thanks.
Bye.